So today I want to talk about the personal reason as to why I believe the Ten Commandments are so important. It's important to realize that there is one part of the entire Bible that was written by God himself. That's something to really think about. You know, God inspired people to put these words onto pages so that he could talk to us throughout the ages, but there's a part of the Bible that he wrote with his finger, and that's intimate, and it was meant to establish his character. It was meant to show who he was and the kingdom that he represented, because all we see is the kingdom taken over. We see this world taken over by Lucifer, by Satan, and what has happened to this world because of that. But he gave us the Ten Commandments to show us something different. And I believe he gave us the Ten Commandments as a way to woo us, in the sense that it's a covenant. It is. It's an agreement. And so a lot of people think covenant, agreement, like Sinai, you know, rain down the Ten Commandments and they're serious, and if you don't keep them, like, you are cut from the earth and you are cut from God's graces, and that's not it. I think he came with the covenant and he said, these are my promises. This is my vow to you, and I'm hoping with everything I am that you'll accept this vow. Would you choose me? Would you choose my life? Would you choose my way, my kingdom, my love? Would you choose me? And if you look at the Ten Commandments as that covenant relationship, I mean, we do the same thing in marriage. In marriage, you're saying, do you take this person? Do you take this person to have and to hold, to be with you until death do you part? And you make a covenant, and your covenant is to love them, to cherish them, to be with them, to take care of them. And God's doing the same thing to us. He's saying, marry me. I want to take care of you. I want to cherish you. I want to love you. I want you to see my kingdom and my character. And that God is a God beyond what I think the reputation of God gets. And I mean, if you even just look at the Ten Commandments, all of the Ten Commandments hang on the two principles, you know, love God first and foremost and love your neighbor as yourself. All of the commandments settle into those one of those two categories. And so if you just take the first four, which are our relationship with God, and you just look at those, the first commandment being is you shall have no other gods before me. So the first commandment is talking about our focus on him and our relationship with him. When you get married, do you want your husband or your wife to have, you know, somebody else that they, you know, would rather spend time with, or maybe an affair or whatever? God is saying, don't have an affair. Like, put me as number one, make me number one. And so that's relational. That's romantic in the sense that he's not demanding it. He's promising it. He's promising the fact that our affections will be his. Number two, he says, you shall not make for yourself any carved image, any likeness of anything, and you shall not bow down to these carved images. And that's a physical thing. That's something physical. You know, do I make this carved image? Do I bow down to this? He's saying, give me your body. Bow down to me. Like, I will take care of your body. And then he goes on to say, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord your God will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. So then he's saying, I want your words. I want you to respect me and talk to me and talk about my name rightly and live and represent my name rightly, which is the same thing we do in a marriage. You want someone that's talking with you, that's representing you, that's loving and caring about you. And then of course the fourth commandment, which I could make so many more videos about, but the fourth commandment is remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And of course, in a marriage covenant, in a covenant between God and his children, he just wants our time. And a God that is willing to give us commandments that would make our lives better and would make our relationships with him richer is a God I can trust. Instead of looking at it like, you shall not do this, or you shall not do that, look at it as him saying, if you're with me, you won't have anyone before you. I will be everything you need. If you're with me, You won't bow down to other images or look at even other things, because your body and your time will be mine. If you're with me, you won't take my name in vain, because you'll love living the life that I represent. You'll love talking about me. You'll love talking with me. You'll love having a relationship with me. It's a promise. And of course, if you choose me, we're going to spend time together. In fact, I've created a day. I've created a specific day to make sure that we get to spend time together. We have, all kinds of anniversaries in our life, but God has a weekly anniversary, and He says every week, I want you to remember that I created you and that I love you, and that you don't need to do anything to try and gain my love, because I can't help but love you. I am love, and I want to bestow it onto you. First of all, not only do they apply to our lives today, but second of all, why wouldn't you want them to? He's more interested in our hearts, and He knows that hearts can't be won through force. And so instead of looking at the Ten Commandments as an arbitrary ruling of how to get to heaven or how to be one of God's people, look at it as a vow and a promise. And He's coming to you with these promises, and He's saying, these are the things that you will do automatically if you accept me into your life. These are the things that are going to make life worth living. These are the things that are going to give you life abundant. These are the things that my entire kingdom is established on. And if you want me to come into your heart, I will write these on your heart, and I will make you ready for my kingdom, because I know you will love my kingdom, because I created you. He created us, and He knows us better than we know ourselves. And so I'm really excited to serve a God that would give me these kinds of commandments. And I hope that you will look at the commandments both logically and scientifically, but also personally, and try to get to know the God that is behind them. Get to know the God that is trying to woo you into loving Him.